Hello, hi, good morning, everyone. Michechi amunyina amanfo. Mesre say, as soon as you come on this video, please share. Are you in Canada? I mean, there's a lot of people who receive their PR, permanent residence, before coming into the country. Especially if you're an international, if you're coming from a place where I don't know what you came with, either by a certain profession. You know, in this country, one thing they don't tell you is that there are certain professions that the people who occupy those professions only hires their own. The labor job market is cracking on that, but they only hires their own. There's a lot of things going on. So we have a lot of nurses who has received their PR before coming into the country. Even doctors. Being a doctor from an international country, coming to Canada, it's not that easy to be given a doctoral, like your license to practice. I know doctors who didn't finish their education in Canada. They finished it in the US. Even in the US, as a Canadian citizen, even in the US, if you finish your school in the US, because of discrimination into these courses or these professions, some people actually took in on the island somewhere, some from the UK. It is not easy to receive that certification from the Canadian government. So a lot of doctors are driving taxi in this country. If you're a Ghanaian, I mean, the medical field everywhere on these Western countries are discriminatory. They are always discriminating. If you're Nigerian, you came as a doctor, you came as a nurse, but then getting into the school is becoming a bit difficult, or getting into that profession, you have to have a Canadian experience. Let me tell you something. Go to the PSW. A PSW, I know people that makes over $70,000 being PSW. I know a lot that makes over $70,000 being a PSW. A PSW, you are helping the hospital staff taking care of those patients. So you are still within the same vicinity, like the same profession. It's just a different responsibilities. So you can start with that. At least you're getting a job. And this, because of COVID, because of COVID, the government realized that there's so many of these individuals needed within the system. Because COVID came, and then boom, many people are still sick, Many people are still sick. When COVID came, a lot of hospitals were exposed. The government were criticized heavily. Ontario government, the Canadian governments were criticized by the citizens because many old people died in the hands of these hospitals, these unqualified individuals, or the establishment. So the government actually took over a lot of these hospitals or the old age homes. A lot of these institutions are taken over by the government. Canada is not like US. In the US, there was, last time I was watching, there were two young ladies taking care of an older woman, and very unprofessional. They had a camera right in front, abusing this woman in front of a camera, and they were on live platform where their friends are watching. So US, there's a lot of shady things. Canada, you can't get away with that. Do you understand? Of course, they were arrested, but Canada takes it very seriously when it comes to healthcare, because the people criticized our taxes, the things people pay in this part of the world. So they have the power to criticize. So if you are, if you are in a career change, you want to change your career, those of you, I see many people who are very good at heart, but doing some menial job, paying them $18 an hour, $20 an hour. My brother, my sister, go into the PSW. If you are new in the country, you cannot find a job within your own within your own profession, go to PSW, because if your job is taking care of people, even as you wait, it's only 9 months, it's free. The government is paying for it. This is free. Amount for this is free. It's worth over $13,000 that the government is going to pay those institutions to train you, so you can be part of the family taking care of these old people. You see, we keep saying about, I keep talking about Ghana a lot, because politically, there's so many things that are wrong. There's so many things that the citizens don't even know it belongs to them, because education, public education about constitution is not there. The African government always want their citizens to be in the dark end, not knowing what is their right. So you find a lot of average Ghanaians fighting for the politicians instead of fighting for resources and I would say provisions or job the citizens are fighting for. In this part of the world, no. I see some things being fought for that the average Ghanaian will say it is so ridiculous. So they come, they only want to go into a job. But many of my African people are doing the wrong jobs. I'm telling you, many of you people are in the wrong professions. So what is your job right now? What are you doing? Are you helping somebody in the kitchen? Are you, like, if you're helping somebody in the kitchen, if you are a prep, of course, knowing how to cook is beautiful. But you can also help out in the clinic, hospitals, old age home, shelters. If you have a PSW, you're qualified to work in the schools. If you have a PSW, you're qualified to work in the shelters. If you have a PSW, DSW, developmental service workers, you are qualified to work in various places, because like I told you, public services in this part of the world is huge. We have so many homes, YMCA. There are so many people. I mean, children, delinquent children. You can even work in a jail, because in a detention centers, hospital. There's so many countless public service places that you can use this PSW qualification to actually get in the door. I mean, to stay within that door, to stay within that place, of course, you need your character to be a service. You need to be a service person, someone who likes to give a service. But this is just information that I received from a brother who is recruiting people and making sure that our community gets it first. So I'm just letting you know, our community is the marginalized community. The discrimination is just on so many level is just not right. So please, if you receive this information, make sure that a sister, a brother gets it, so they can also take advantage of this thing. Now, if you are here as a student, if you are here as a student, you've been able to complete a 1-year program. You know, back where we come from, we get into courses that not necessarily can end you up with a job. I hear so many university degree people saying, I have political science. Political science in what? Because we made it a thing about politics, that only politics can make you rich. But then we have not sold society what is important for mankind. What is so important for mankind is to being able to live together, being able to service each other, being able to be relevant to other people. We have not our political sector, our political schemes has not been able to sell humanity to the community or to our generation. So current generation does not care about people. I'm telling you, there are so many professions that our government could have looked into to sort of make it a priority to open up a course and then open up a job for it. But they don't do that. They want you to worship them. They want you to sort of kiss their asses. They want you to help them achieve their goal while your goal is being put on hold. And then by the time you realize you don't have the energy anymore to get into your actual gifts that God has blessed you with. So this part of the world, they tap into you. They make sure that they bring out what your innate ability that you came with from this earth, this universe, from this God, the creation of this. Whatever you came with, that's exactly what this country gives you an opportunity to be. Not to be somebody you're not to do something you don't want to do. Many souls are just like lost. Because what? We don't tap into the gifts, the talents of our young African people. We don't. Right now, people are being used. Let me tell you something. Our culture itself came out of slavery. So there are so many cultures that I sit back and see the practice, and I realize this is a slavery culture. This is slave. That subserviency of how our education actually put department for Ghanaians to go and serve. So by the time you came out of that service, you are a slave. You are a slave to your boss. Women are being forced to sleep with bosses before they can even give them positions. You are a slave. You are a slave. Because if you look at the culture, only slaves actually defend the master. Let me say it in Chi so you can understand what I'm saying. Akwa, enokun, emma, nehene, okun tiyo. Mami can say minchiro. Yawa enkwa, enkrofo. There's so many people, slaves. They portrayed the attributes of a slave. Yesi diwufi yasem. Ohini bebiara. An indigenous person knows the law of their territories. Ghanaian children don't know the laws within their territory. I don't know about Nigeria. I don't know about any other countries. But it seems like we are put there as a casualty, as casuals. The minute you hear any illness within the territory, anything that is unlawful, you see, every home, every society should have a law. Amamre eyemra, amamre yemra. Inti yedi efie asam. Yedi fie asam. The only time akun eba, the only time you fight is when external, out of your territory, somebody wants to come and steal. Right now, guess what? Ghanaians are fighting against themselves because some Ghanaians are raised to be slaves. You see, in this part of the world, it is everywhere. It is a scheme planned by corrupt leaders. It is a scheme that is planted. It is brought upon the people that were brought out of another territory to come and serve. So they would teach the slave the rules, not the laws. Rules, ruling. They will rule them. So you will see that right now, they are Ghanaians actually fighting for politicians. They touch them the rule, not the law. Because everybody who is an indigenous know their law. So in Chomudi Omufie Asam. A lot of Ghanaians I can see say, you don't know Ghanaian law, Ghana law, 111. You don't even know your laws. Wuni mumra, emra ebo muhubai, emra yi efin fifiyono. Wunim, inti wuhini ko di bone. President Akufo-Addo di bone. President anase MP, wu MP di bone. Ni oti MP no, ni owo MP ni fie no, ese so di se fie na sem. Because I born ebe sign fearful. But nowadays, when an MP commits a crime, the ruler has taught the slaves the rules of defense. So they don't talk, they don't use the law to discuss the matter and to correct the matter. This is a bunch of slavery. This is a bunch of slaves, because a slave is taught the rule and not the law. To rule you, you need to know the rules. So there are no laws in my fear, there are rules in my fear. Inti akwa abontini ebe mi fear ba mema enim the laws. Chai, Ghana for me say monsunya de ehanomo grade 1, the materials, the things you learn, even international language sent us the change of the correct. No, actually, they did a plan. And the plan for this month, ye teach Chi Kasa. So, be teach Tamil Kasa, Arabian Kasa, Arabic, whatever Kasa na ye. The customary way, no. In Pono, Oma Mayen, a topic. Say it out loud and defending, no, almost said about them, advocating for yourself. And Kolano, almost say, Yama, the tools, we should give the children tools they need to make sure they are able to advocate for themselves and others. Chai, look at Nkolankete, look at small, young children. So let me tell you something. Your education is wrong. You're going to school for your mom. You are going to school for your papa, your papa's ambition. I told you there was a young girl who came to school from Ghana. Who does this thing? She makes me, in fact, she came and mastered her computer engineering program. She did it and ended up with honor roll. And she graduated from the University Canada Hanomu. But guess what she does? She went to the school for her mama and her papa. As an African child, we are not taught to use our hands and to use our body in a positive manner. Our hands to create. We are not taught to create. We are taught to only so this girl is doing this beautiful, $450 just what she teaches young girl. She makes more money than if she were to do a computer engineering. Because as a computer engineer, you're starting is about 80-something thousand or something $1,000 a month per year. So $80,000. What she does right now, she makes more than 100 and something. She can make more than $200,000 per year. And guess what? She gets to choose the time she goes to work. She gets to actually manage her own hours and manage her clientele. What she wants to do. She's taking ownership. And this is what African children, by your subserviency of the way, so every slave in the country of Africa is speaking for defending the illness of their leaders. Every slave, because a fear ni ote fear ni owo fear ni oye indigenous odiasem on defend it on come or shame. But as a slave, you are taught to defend the leader. When you go to war, the U.S. leader, when there's a war right now, if one U.S. leader name so the casualty meboa. Many animal the ones who does not matter, the ones trained, the ones taught the rule. Yes. Na opemuno otiechere. You see, hey, if I body koje. So the slaves actually use the amount, their strength, their energy to defend any ill, and this was brought upon Africa. The African leaders who does not know the laws, the wrong people are in power. The slaves that were brought to Ghana are in power. I have never seen the real indigenous oh, as say tribalistic near boss antidia and kwano a first and kwano pie. Mamika Semicho, Nioya Santini, typical Asantini does not come to defend foolishness. I'm telling you the fact. Nioya Santini, the real Canadians, when the other people speaks about their forefathers' wrongdoing, they themselves are taught the truth. So the real Ashanti people does not come and defend foolishness because they know they were a home. So they know. Remember, there was a young, bouncy, a northerner defended the Ashanti king, and essence of he was cautioned right away. Let me tell you, Ghana for and Kwamano to the system. They were trained. They were taught the laws, the rules to defend whatever the leader does wrong. But niote fear to say odike onim fear amamre onim ne koso onim say adnia maybe to chema onim how to say what to say. He odini fear asem. One amoka se kodi ufi asem. So Ghanaians are not doing what they should be doing. You see people, utimi hu be abrantie bi pa se sojani benie. Utimi so ye sojani, utimi so jina so a esanka yedi ni jina ni shirem. You can tell, you can say, you can sense it, you can see, you can feel, say, this man possesses this. It's not a agrada slave. This is what the government has turned you to. It's not a MPB girlfriend walking stick. How foolish. I'll be near China who say, look at Obi Okatechia Frifi, fine young man. Or your lawyer ni ankensenino. Lawyer ni odia sam ewo no kuremu. Shall look at this foolish lawyer ampau betina wa Becca said abuebi. You see nisu and ne bino. The gift pretty woman. He's not operating within the inbuilt abilities, and that's not what he's operating on. He's operating for the devil. You see, there's right, there's wrong. There is right and there's wrong. So to share lawyer some professors to be MPP now because they are operating in a realm of foolishness and evilness in ama whole being a change. So when you are not operating within your gift, you become like preko yatune lipstick na yadi Brazilian hair asheno. Why I say preko yadi Brazilian hair asheno. And you can tell it across the globe of Ghana, Africa, because people are not given the opportunity to operate within their own innate and inbuilt abilities. They have young ladies who does just a lunch room. There are people who are gifted to serve within. That is what they do. I'm going to say Madame Teresa. They are like Madame Teresa. He went to school for him, ma'am. They are like Madame Teresa. It's also Ghana for where go school my way, where you go see way my way. Look at judges in Mua. A judge who carries a load of a nation. And shra bia say, and shra bia. Menya meant to who fam. When you are given something to do, me, Mamika Seminchero. I was a manager, a quality manager, assurance manager for a huge company, downtown Glass in Kwano. I was one of those young, smallish, hardcore, mother shushu. Woman be, or French, I was managing the French line. Teaching people how to speak etiquette, teaching phone etiquettes. If you have no empathy in your voice, I'll teach you how to have empathy. I'll teach you how hello, hi, I am so sorry. Please bear with me. I'll be more than happy to help you. And this is what I was teaching people. And I remember this Congolese woman. She's a nurse. But people do call center job. That Croatian papa will say, hey, this is your daughter. This small woman, she's not easy. Listen, I did my job without friends. We are Madame Fokura. I don't care. I am applying the principles. To say the way at force and Ebisasa MP as some answer the people. Now we are not in a beer bar. We are not in our small corner. But MP no. Cha 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 cha. MP na bon wa pro no de to. Osi ato. Ore me. You and I. These are the people in our way. Oh, erade. These are the people. Yewa political offices who know. Ato Forsen was telling him, say, this is for the people. This is an office. This is an office. But you see, because Nkwebimu, Yamaumu, a chance. Ewa Ghana, omunimu emra, omunimu, just the rules, oshe, rules, ya sheni pano, ya shano, amanfuwa, ya shano no namho, o ya abuwa, ya shano, onimu mra, aji ya shano ya di oshe, aha, ni ya mao guideline. Uti ohini din pe jump it. The casualty. Sauti ase uti ohini din pe. Na wa jump amanfo. Me the move right inside. Sauti ase inti ato forcing ekasa nyina on tissue. Ato forcing Ebisa na some say answer. Ato forces. So these are the people without law. Amanfo share the video. Nama union son sanka. Niyo Canada hano. This is a